Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on this edition of the 6 p.m. prime time newscast on Equinoxe television. We're broadcasting from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. My name is Babla Jonathan, and our top stories in this edition of the news: the president of ACT Civil Society platform, Christian Penda EKOKA, urges Cameroonians to continue fighting for change. Speaking to Equinoxe television today after the liberation of Professor Maurice Kamto, who has been under what some lawyers qualify as forceful detention since the 22nd of September 2020, the ally of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement (CRM) political party, Christian Penda EKOKA, condemned arbitrary arrest and detention and other manifestations of the violation of the law in the Republic of Cameroon. Also in this newscast, we shall take you to Banganti in the west region of the country, where there is still tension in a neighborhood there following a child who was killed, a 14-year-old student of government bilingual high school, Banganti, who was found dead in unclear circumstances. Stay with us. The security and defense forces who were deployed and stationed at the residence of the national president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement (CRM) political party, Professor Maurice Kamto in Yaoundé, since the 22nd of September 2020 have been withdrawn. The forces have been stationed there since the 22nd of September 2020, the day on which the Cameroon Renaissance Movement (CRM) political party orchestrated a nationwide anti-government strike action protesting against the practices which is considered as anti-democratic and the government's failure, according to the party, to solve the socio-political and security tensions in the northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon. The party was also protesting against the organization of the regional elections which took place on the 6th of December 2020, and according to the party of Professor Maurice Kamto, the electoral code ought to have been revised and the Anglophone crisis solved before the organization of that election. And since the 22nd of September, Professor Maurice Kamto has been under house arrest, or better still, forceful detention, as some lawyers qualify. But today, the security and defense forces were at his residence in Yaoundé, left, and Christian Penda EKOKA was there. And in a statement, the government spokesperson René Emmanuel Sadi, Minister of Communication, indicated that the situation of Professor Maurice Kamto and other leaders of the CRM political party who were arrested and detained will continue to be closely examined, and that other leaders of the party have already been released, including the Women's Wing President Awasum Mispa, and of course one of the advisors of the party, Silvanus Mutaga, and others, and that those who are still being detained will be released as the judiciary handles their case. And shortly after the security and defense forces left the residence of Professor Maurice Kamto in Yaoundé, one of his allies, the president of ACT Civil Society platform, Christian Penda EKOKA, spoke to us. Take a listen.
First of all, I find him a good shape. He have the morale, he have the mental, always strong as usual, understand? So then we should keep on fighting, because as you know, Professor Maurice Kamto and all his family were sequestrated arbitrarily without any justification, which is absolutely abnormal in a country where you pretend to be a state of law, to respect the rule of law, but actually is a lawless country. You understand? And what we are saying, our fighting is not for us. It's not for me. It's not for our generation. This fight is for the younger people. It's for the younger generation. You cannot expect in a country where 80% of the population is less than 35 years old, and you're going to build what? Look at the other country. Look how the other country are moving ahead. Look about the election yesterday in Ghana. In Ghana, you have 17 million electors in a country of almost the same population as Cameroon. about 30 million. But here in Cameroon, you hardly have 7 million in the electoral roster. It's not somewhat astonishing for you? So the most important for us, as I say, we're not going to leave to the younger generation the fight of our own generations. Because you cannot undertake anything. You cannot succeed in your own life without freedoms. Development is freedoms. Development has freedoms. Freedom to undertake, freedom to succeed, freedom to express your own talents, freedom to express your opinion. And if you live in a country where those freedom has been sophisticated by a bunch of people, then the fight should continue. It's not continuing for me. I have done my life, but it should continue for the other generations.
Christian Penda EKOKA, one of the allies of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, CRM political party of Professor Maurice Kamto, speaking there. And in a statement, the government spokesperson and Minister of Communication, Rene Emmanuel Sadi, indicated that the situation of Professor Kamto and other leaders of the party will continuously be examined by the judicial authorities in the country. And still in the same statement, the Minister of Communication, Rene Emmanuel Sadi, said that the December 6 regional elections in the Republic of Cameroon unfolded hitch-free, and he indicated that despite threats in the northwest and southwest regions of the country and the assassination of a municipal councillor in Widikum by armed civilians, and of course calls for a boycott of the election, the voter turnout was satisfactory, and the minister also went ahead to congratulate security and defense forces for their determination and professionalism in the implementation of measures taken for a hitch-free election, and above that, for the protection of the territorial integrity of the country and the people. Now to Banganti, in the west region of the Republic of Cameroon, there is still tension in the neighborhood of Manja, where a 14-year-old student of government bilingual high school, Banganti, was found dead in unclear circumstances. The child is said to have been sexually abused and assassinated, according to sources on the ground. And the suspect, who is a teacher of government bilingual high school, Banganti, saw his properties burnt down, his houses and belongings burnt by some angry inhabitants of the neighborhood. The teacher is suspected to have been at the origin of the death of the student of government bilingual high school, Banganti Zwachi Frank Abraham, went missing, and his lifeless body was later found hanging in an uncompleted building in that part of the west region of the country. And the suspect has, however, denied all wrongdoings. He says that he is innocent and he has been simply a conspiracy against him. He's now in detention in the West Regional Chief Town, Bafoussam, while investigations are on course. To Buea, in the southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, the population of some neighborhoods are still expressing doubts with regards to solutions being provided by the electricity production and distribution company, ENEO, as far as the problem of inadequate electricity supply is concerned. It has been a major problem, sending women, children, men, young people to the streets more than twice in the town of Buea over problems of inadequate electric energy supply. However, some solutions are already being provided to that problem, as Manjikan Gebre reports.
Some months ago, inhabitants of some neighborhoods in Buea were on the street in a peaceful protest to demand that electricity supply should be normalized because many of them have been without electricity supply for at most 2 months. The street demonstration orchestrated by the inhabitants of some quarters in Buea didn't go unnoticed as the company in charge of producing and supplying electricity have started works in quarters like Mayor Street and Third Malingo, all in the Moliko neighborhood. New concrete poles and electrification is ongoing. An inhabitant says he is delighted with the work.
We are amazed and positively amazed too with the work that is being carried out by the electricity supply company in our neighborhood. We have noticed them planting solid poles, concrete poles all over. That one is equally good for security purposes. We understand that they are extending electricity supplies to the neighborhoods to make supply more regular and more permanent.
The ongoing work to another Buea inhabitant is not a guarantee for the return to normalcy of electricity supply in the town.
In EKOKA, it brought up a good idea, but at the wrong time, because the plant of a pole is good, but now we are not sure that we'll have the light continuously. First, we don't think that there's any light now safe.
Hoping that the epileptic supply of electricity in Buea will be a thing of the past, the inhabitants have their expectations.
My expectations are high and positive. We hope that at the end of the day, the sufferings of the ordinary man would be something of the past, so that people will be able to be sure that you can come in and switch on. When you're going out, you switch off with the assurance that when you come back and switch on again, you have electricity to power your appliances.
With the ongoing electrification and planting of new concrete poles in the town of Buea, many are hoping to see changes in the supply of electricity in the town of legendary hospitality.
Still in the southwest region, Innocent now takes us to Bangem, where we're going to take a look at underdevelopment challenges affecting that part of the country. Bad roads. The problem of bad roads is top on the list of underdevelopment challenges affecting the area, and the Council of Bangem has adopted the sum of 830 million francs CFA as developmental projects for the year 2021, and the budget that increased by 230 million francs CFA from the 2020 budget that stood at 600 million francs CFA is expected to be used in the development of that part of the southwest region.
Bangem is one of the localities in the Kupe Maninguma division of the southwest region with impassable roads, despite the fact that it greatly supplies markets in the Mungu division and other parts of the littoral region with diverse food crops, especially plantains, thanks to its soil fertility. In spite of its agricultural endowments, this locality is in dire need of sustainable supply of potable water.
The majority of our population is made up of farmers, so it's our priority to make sure that rural routes that are linking farms to various market centers are maintained. So we are going to put in maximum effort to do that. You have the problem of water, which is not only in villages, but also in the main town itself. There's a big problem of water that we inherited, which we are supposed to be solving gradually.
Youths are unemployed. Some are motorbike riders, bayam salams, or farmers, and others just idle. Hope is being nursed. These problems will be tackled in 2021 by the Bangem Council that has adopted a budget of 830 million francs CFA for the next fiscal year, an amount that has witnessed a 230 million francs CFA increase from the 600 million francs 2020 budget.
The first thing that we hope that the budget should be able to resolve is the problem of water. Many of our villages are without access to pipe-borne water. We know that our population is also mostly an agrarian population, and we hope that the budget we have voted will enhance the road situation of many of our villages and the zones where food is produced, so that the young men who are involved in agriculture can easily market their produce. And in the areas of women empowerment and youth empowerment, I think the mayor too has been accorded some funds.
We hope that this budget will go a long way to foster the development of this municipality, to improve the living condition of our populations.
Chakwi Jean-Marie, the Senior Divisional Officer for the Kupe Maninguba Division, invites the council authorities not to rely solely on government support, but find other income-generating sources and manage transparently resources at their disposal for the well-being of the populace.
And the chiefs, or better still traditional rulers in the Indian division, think that with the decentralization process that is now going to be effectively implemented, according to them, with the regional elections and the putting in place of the regional assemblies for the northwest and southwest regions and the regional councils for the other 8 regions, and of course the House of Chiefs in the 2 English-speaking regions of the country, these developmental efforts will be enhanced and better managed by the regional authorities. And coming up, Immaculate Fogwe brings to us results of the December 6, 2020 regional elections in the Littoral region. Her report.
The president of the Bonanjo Court of Appeal officially announcing the Cameroon Democratic Movement political party as the winner of the December 6 Pioneer regional election in the 4 different divisions that make up the Littoral region. In the Mungo division, 19 divisional delegates were elected, including 4 women. At the level of traditional rulers, Joke Isawe Maurice was elected. In the Camp division, 6 divisional delegates were elected, including a woman. At the level of traditional rulers, Edimo Alexandre Martin was elected. In the Sanaga Maritime division, 15 divisional delegates were elected, including 4 women. Bok Balema Jean-Marie Martin will head the list of traditional rulers. And finally, in the Wuri division, 30 divisional delegates were elected, including 9 women. Dika Shal David, Chief of Aqua, who was elected to head the list of traditional rulers, gave up the ghost. The first-class chief of the Aqua people died on Tuesday. Alima Amadou, elected as a regional councillor, promises to put in efforts that will benefit the population. I am happy because I was elected. I will do everything in order to ensure the effectiveness of the decentralization process. Christian Jock of the Cameroon Party for National Reconciliation says he's optimistic that they will do better next time.
The candidate, I would like to thank all my members of our parties. We have done better than we can, but it was not good. We want to thank EKOKA for the transparency of this election, and we know that, or we hope that we can do better.
Spectators who witnessed the proclamation of results hope that all those elected will work for the good of the population.
Out of Cameroon, the Ethiopian government has confirmed that soldiers shot at a United Nations team which was driving in the north of the country where the army has been fighting Tigrayan forces. A spokesperson blamed the United Nations staff, saying they were not supposed to be in the area. He accused them of driving straight through the checkpoint or 2 checkpoints before they were detained. And the United Nations is yet to comment Sunday's incident. The team was reportedly trying to reach a camp of Eritrean refugees. There are fears that some have been caught up in the conflict and reports that refugees have been forced into trucks and taken back to Eritrea. Ethiopian authorities have released a statement saying that the humanitarian assistance must be led and coordinated by the Ethiopian government. Take a listen to an earlier statement of the United Nations Secretary General spokesperson, Stefan Dujarric.
The General is very concerned about the current situation in the Tigray province in Ethiopia. He feels that it is essential to quickly restore the rule of law in full respect for human rights, promote social cohesion, an inclusive reconciliation, as well as to reestablish the delivery of public services and guaranteed unfettered humanitarian access. The United Nations remains totally committed to supporting the African Union initiative. We also remain fully committed to mobilizing the full capacity of the United Nations to provide humanitarian support to refugees, displaced people, and all population in distress. The Secretary General has been conveying these messages in the numerous conversations he's had with United Nations representatives on the ground and regional leaders, as well as Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed of Ethiopia, with whom he spoke earlier today.
And that's it for the first part of this edition of the news. Coming up next, Talking Point. Thank you for staying with us in Talking Points. We are receiving a regional councillor-elect from the southwest region of the country, John Paul Itwe Mutanga. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Babila, for having me.
How did the elections unfold in the southwest region, notably in the Meme?
Yes, Meme division, yes. They went on smoothly as per prescriptions of the state and supervision of Elekam. Everything went on smoothly, and we are happy to say we came out on top, and we are here to move forward now.
The town of Buea was ghosted on election day, so to speak. The streets were deserted. There was lockdown, or better still, ghost town, imposed by pro-independence fighters. How did you councillors manage to leave your homes to the voting center?
Well, to be quite frank, I cannot speak for Buea. I am from Meme division and spend the whole of my day in Kumba. But, you know, usually on election days, people like staying at home. But if it is a ghost town, I'm not aware of Buea, but I can speak for Kumba.
I'm talking about Kumba.
Yes, Kumba. Okay, I heard you say Buea, yes. The streets of Kumba, I mean, vehicles were stagnant, I would say timid, but the people were up and down doing their business on foot, going around. The councillors and the chiefs made their ways to the polling station with no incident at all, and the event passed on very well. Yes.
Weren't you afraid to?
No, why should I be afraid? I cannot be afraid of my own people. You know, they expect if we can't show our people we are there for them and putting our chests out there, who else will do it? No one else.
You're a man of the people.
Yes, I love my people. Yeah.
All right, and somehow the elections went on hitch-free.
Yes, they went on hitch-free.
The Minister of Territorial Administration said,
yes.
And like the Minister of Communication has also said in another statement today,
yes.
But there were some few incidents. A councillor that was killed in the northwest region.
That was really unfortunate, yes.
Another incident occurred up in the northern regions,
yes.
in Marwa,
yes.
particular where traditional ruler was killed. In the northwest and southwest regions, with these incidents that occurred and the atmosphere that prevailed during the elections, are you confident that the result of this election will produce what the people are expecting from you people?
I can tell you right here, Babila, that the expectations of the people of the Southwest region are very high. This is not a joking exercise. This is serious business. We all know where the Southwest region is coming from. We cannot ignore the crisis which has been ongoing. We are expected to deliver solutions. And I would like the people of the Southwest to know that we are their representatives. We shall speak on their behalf, and the law is actually there to provide a safeguard for them. Article 142 of the Regional Decentralization Code of December last year is there to specify every councillor must be selfless and serve his people. If we don't do that, they have the right to hold us to task. Yes.
Now the elections came and passed. That was on Sunday. What are the next steps?
Next steps are pretty obvious. In the next few days, I know there's going to be a lot of talk of forming executives, holding our first plenary session. We trust the authorities on our hierarchy, because I can tell you right now, the CPDM, our party, won the entire Southwest region 100%. All the expectations now is for equitable placing of the executive and action on behalf of these regional councillors, because it is not a matter of taking office and thinking it's a joke. You have to work and show the people you're working. The expectations are really high, like I would say again, and we are praying everything returns to the original normal we all both know.
I read a statement reported in a newspaper, Eden newspaper, a statement of the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Lyonga, who said that time for belly or stomach politics is over. Now it's time for serious business.
Okay, once again, Babila, I trust what you tell me. I trust what Babila publishes. I do not want to confirm stories on other media organizations, but if the minister said that, it is true. It is not time for individual benefits and prestige. We are way past that. What the people expect now is concrete action to bring that development we so desperately need in this region of the Southwest. We do not want people for showmanship. We do not want people to raise their shoulders. We are a humble people, and that is what we expect from every single regional councillor. The people expect that, and they are waiting.
In concrete terms,
yes,
there are problems almost everywhere. The problems in the Northwest and Southwest regions are almost same like other problems, developmental issues in other communities across the country. And we saw in a report in this newscast, roads in Bangem, very bad.
True.
And it's not only Bangem, many parts of the Southwest region, the roads are in a deplorable state. And there are many other developmental issues affecting the communities. In practical terms, in concrete terms, what can the people who are listening to you now expect from the regional assembly?
3 words: action, action, action. We cannot just deliver words. The people are tired. I am tired of saying things are not being able to do. We need action. I hear you about the roads. It is true that all over the country we have problems, but we thank God we have a head of state who listens. He has listened to the people. He has started implementing things discussed and agreed upon on the national dialogue, which was chaired by His Excellency the Prime Minister, Chief John Gute. So now we are moving forward. And I have a message for those who want to hold us back. It will not work. This country is going to get better. We are on a better footing than we were yesterday. We are going up, never to come back down. So if you have any ill intentions towards this country, I know Babila, yourself and I do love, I'll tell you to forget them and pack and move elsewhere. We are tired and we are going forward. Yes.
Some similar statements were made by some people about 30 years ago, and it took this long for something that was in the Constitution to be implemented. It's not even yet been fully implemented, And with regards to this, some political analysts and civil society leaders are raising concerns about the outcome of the regional elections, the putting in place of the regional councils and the assemblies and the House of Chiefs and so on.
Okay. Well, everyone has a right to an opinion, and everyone has a right to voice that opinion. But I wouldn't want to dwell on their analysis, because we, the people, are living on the ground. We experience all these things, and we cried out to the head of state. He graciously heard us, and he has started implementing the directives of the national dialogue. So what I would advise them is look forward, be thoughtful, be optimistic, look to the future. Because my generation, I will tell you this, we are very optimistic. We believe the nation is going ahead. It is true. No, there is no country. But show me a country on earth which has zero problems, and I will show you a mosquito with teeth. Yes, but it is clear we are going forward.
The problems are everywhere.
Yes, everywhere.
But the problem is that some of the countries who were with us or even behind us some decades back and now far ahead have done a number of things, have been able to take several steps ahead.
Yes.
But we seem to be moving at a snail pace.
Babila, the race, there is no finish line in this race called development. Development, if you are like myself, I have been all over the world, I can tell you this, no one has monopoly on development. You know, you can get there today and tomorrow I come and overtake you and go further. There are many examples of this. But again, I'd like to underscore the importance. Our head of state has heard us. He has started putting in place the decisions we both agreed on during the national dialogue. We are going forward, so I'd ask all your listeners and all the people of the nation to look forward. Let us watch from now going forward, seeing what is happening before we jump in and let the political pundits who do what they do best make analysis, keep on making their analysis.
No, the CPDM has everything in the Southwest region.
Yes.
Everything in the Northwest
well
region.
Deserved.
So are you, for this number of decades, people like Kabanwala Edith will tell you that the CPDM government has failed the country completely. Well, nothing has worked.
No, come on.
And now, for this number of decades, there was an opposition.
Yes.
There was the SDF, there were other parties trying to put in some energy in the political arena, in the economic, in the social domain, and so on. But now, the CPDM has just everything in those two regions.
Well, so they have, like, again, I would say every Cameroonian has a right to their opinion. I personally have never met Mrs. Kawala. We don't probably know each other, but she has a right to her opinion on how she views the country. If her opinions really impacted Cameroonians day to day, I'm sure she will be in a 2D by now. Cameroonians believe in our head of state. That is why we come out in numbers in the CPDM and support him every election. It is true, every country needs an opposition. They play a very vital role. They are there to keep in check the party in power. We encourage them to keep on doing what they've been doing, to keeping us in check, supplying their ideas. The CPDM is open doors. We welcome ideas from everywhere. But what we do not welcome is disobedience and raising fears and causing insurrections. No, we do not stand for that. We do not stand for that. We are a nation of law and order. So if you think you disagree with our opinions, my brother, we have elections all the time. Rally your people and vote.
Many of them think that elections have failed to deliver the change, have failed to bring about the change, that the elections are, in fact, something that there are no elections in Cameroon.
No.
Everything is rigged and tailored according to...
You know, some people, I do not want to call names, spend their time discouraging others from going to the polls when they know they don't have numbers. We're seeing it every day. Trust me, it's a free country. We have election supervisors, we have election monitors, and we have you, the media, to be there step by step to keep us in check. I mean, I do not see why Equinoxe will not come out and decry fraud somewhere and be listened to. Wherever you think there has been what we call in the quartier bad game, call it out. And I'm sure the Constitutional Council is there to listen and fairly look into all these instances. Like my brother, Babila, we are moving forward. All these instances of Cartier talk here and there, we are tired. The people of Kumba are tired. You understand me? We are tired. We have gone. If they are still at the train station, they can remain. The train is moving. They should meet up with us and let's take Cameroon to a better place.
The train is moving.
Yes.
The mayors had been there before now,
yes,
doing some work, striving to develop their respective communities.
True.
The city mayors have
yes,
also been there.
Yes.
In the recent image that we received from the southwest region from Kumba,
yes,
we saw the city mayor,
yes,
Mewano, visiting
yes,
a neighborhood where the people were trying to
yes,
improve on the state of their roads. But now, with the putting in place of the regional assemblies and the House of Chiefs, precisely the regional assembly,
yes,
what is going to change? What is going to change practically on the field?
Yes.
About the way things have been done?
Like the regional assembly is not here to take over the duties of the city councils. I would like to congratulate once more again the city mayor of Kumba, Mr. Gregory Mwanu. He is actually a breath of fresh air in Cameroonian politics and especially in the city of Kumba. So, but the region, again, is not going to, we are not coming in to take over the councils, the great work which our mayors are currently doing. No, we are just coming in as a body looking globally on the region as a whole. They still maintain, again, I'll go back to the law of 2019/024 of December 19th last year. It is clearly spelled out. It is clearly spelled out the regional functions, the city functions, and the city council functions. Yes, there is no overlapping or there's no cause for concern to say the region is going to step on the toes of the city councils or of the councils. No, not at all.
All right.
Yes,
much of the work will be done by the councils.
Yes.
But the overall authority at the level of the regions,
yes,
will be the council.
Yes, the regional council is just more, I would like people to break it down to look at it more as a global overseer of major actions to be taken all across the region.
The region.
Yes.
All right. Do you have a specific message for those who are still carrying guns, civilians?
Yes.
And going on with the fight and struggling to obtain the independence of former British Southern Cameroons?
Yes, I absolutely do. And I'm sure it's a message which resonates with everyone in the nation. We are a family. Families have problems. Brothers and sisters fight. We argue, our parents step in, or we develop cool heads and resolve them. We've had the national dialogue which came and passed. The offer of our head of state to all our brothers and sisters still in the bush is not a comfortable place to be in, Babila. We understand the struggles of displaced people. We understand the struggles of these same brothers and sisters who have picked up arms. We are inviting them and begging them to please come home. The ideas being sold to them by some of our other brothers and sisters who live comfortably, I would like to say, abroad in their abodes and live comfortable lives with their families. Imagine that. You are in the bush struggling for an idea someone has developed which he knows is not conceivable anywhere on this earth. And you're in the bush struggling and he's abroad drinking his wine and champagne at your expense. It's not normal. This is where we invite all foreign governments to take a good look at themselves in the mirror. They need to take a good look at themselves in the mirror and ask themselves why they are harboring such people. I don't like going back to the case of Kumba, where the children were killed by armed separatist fighters, because it is a sad moment in history. It's a sad, sad moment in history to kill children because they went to school. That is really sad. It's really sad, but we understand they have been sold the wrong idea. We have DDR centers all over the Northwest and Southwest right now. We're inviting them, please contact your local authorities. They do have the phone numbers of these local authorities. Find a way to come back to the fold. We are there for you. We do not hate you. We understand when someone has been sold the wrong idea and they believe in it, it will take time to bring them back, but slowly but surely, you can see it happening all over the Northwest and the Southwest. They are slowly but surely coming back home. Yes.
And beyond the talking, beyond the words,
yes,
is there something that you think that if that thing were to be done,
yes,
by the head of state, for example, someone saying that they should go there and talk to the people,
yes,
it's something that an action that he takes now, is there anything that you think that if the head of state does, the government does now, it can convince those people, those are brothers, to leave the bushes?
Again, he has already extended the hand, and we the people on the ground are supposed to amplify that hand he has extended. I do not maintain the head of state's calendar, neither do I make decisions for him, but
you can suggest.
Yes, I mean we have suggested. We have suggested, he has been listening, and he extended the hand. You cannot, guns cannot resolve conflict all the time. You know, without action, guns, the population on the ground will suffer, are suffering. So the call, it is now up, the ball is in their court, that's what I would say. The ball is in their court to slowly but pleased come back to the fold. Please come back to the fold.
Come back to the fold.
Yes.
So that peace and normalcy can return.
Yes.
John Paul Itwe
Yes.
Mutanga, Regional Council elect in the Southwest region. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Babila.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. That's it for today. Equinoxe is up next.